my brother's got a something that you use to burn fields. I can't remember the name of it. It's a torch, and it's used to burn fields. And we're going to work on the 20 acres at the front of, in front of my house, because the weeds that are growing in there aren't good for animals. They're not good for hay. It's a nuisance. And because there's so much property that's got to be burned. Walk around away from my truck. He needs the tractor. He's plowed all the way around this, and it's just this little center piece for now that we're gonna burn. We've got our burn permit and everything, and he's just gonna go along and light it, and we're gonna watch the direction of the wind, and we just want to see if, to make sure it's not gonna take off. It's a low wind for today, clear skies. We've had rain for a few days, so this isn't like super dry. The ground's still, it's dried out, but it's not as moist as it has been. We've had a lot of rain in South Carolina, and it's working really well as far as lighting it. It might be a slow burn today because of all the rain that we've had. So he's plowed all the way around that oval. And you can see the wood chips in the background that he was spreading the other day. He plowed those under, and that's over here. He did that. But he said this bramble is a mess. Rather than plowing it under and kind of seeding the field, he wanted to see if maybe burning it off might burn up the seed. My truck is skipping really bad. I got to get some wires. And it's chilly out here today. We've had our little cold snap. We've gone from flip-flops to sweatpants in a week or so. A little bit of a cold snap. I think it dropped down in the 20s. It seems to be doing okay. This right here is doing good. The rest of it looks like it's gone out. We might just have to be patient. And I don't know if he can light it from this side because of the westerly wind. But usually what it'll do is it'll burn across and burn itself out. That's usually what it'll do. And it's usually not a problem. I don't know if he can get the burn that he wants off of this today or not. This one spot's doing real good. I think there's another spot in back that's doing real good. But he's hoping if he keeps nourishing this 20-acre area, I'll show you all of it. As you see the hayfield in back, that's Stevens. Stevens does that. But he wants to see if he can do something with the front 20. And those are the neighbors across the street. And that's where we initially had the goats, but he moved them to another field after they grazed down that fenced area, the first part of the fenced area. The second part of the fenced area, unfortunately, is a little bit too close to some neighbors that we don't want our animals near. There's some behavior over there that is worrisome. So we've tried to keep them closer to us. And we've got some fence repairs that need to be made. But the flamethrower's pretty cool for farm work. It works pretty good. Maybe it's just not as tall and dry as he thought it was. I think he said it operates off of a propane tank. And he's got his discs on back. They're not down in the ground right now because he's already disked, but he would do that to cut through. And he was talking about the difference between gas-powered engines and diesel engines, and that you can't take a gas-powered engine through, but you can take a diesel engine through fire. We've had forest fires on other property. We've had arson on other property, and he knows which equipment he can take in and help forestry and help the firefighting services save property. He's enjoyed that tractor. That's his newer tractor. He's really enjoyed it. He's gotten a lot of work done now that he's gotten that new tractor. I know he's glad to have it. He's got some that he's got torn down that he's searching for parts for, and sometimes that can be more expensive than some of the things he's found at auction or that he's been able to barter for. He does a lot of bartering. I'm going to pause this. So I went ahead and got in the truck. That's my assignment for today, is to sit in the truck and be a second set of eyes. And he can do this work himself, but it's always safer when you do a control burn to have a second person with a cell phone. And he's got his cell phone in his pocket. So I just really have to sit and watch. That's my job today. Some spots are burning excellent. Some spots, I guess there just isn't fuel there. It looks weedy, but it's not, I guess. I mean, maybe it's just not dry. And I also am not sure how much burn he can get off of one propane tank. That white stuff you see in the corner, I'm inside the truck. That's the paperwork he's got thrown up on the dashboard. So I might have to pause it again because he's getting at it. He's getting where the reflection's at. Hold on. He said they make all different sizes of those torches, that you can get them for just home and garden. I guess if you had a weedy area and you couldn't see the tank on back better now. He's got it strapped on. If you had a weedy area that you couldn't get in with your mower or weed eater or something like that, or if it was working you to death, he said you could burn it as long as you had a garden hose nearby. But of course he told me not to get any ideas. George Lyon he's heading over to the second portion. He started this portion just as a test to see, because he didn't want this bigger portion to get away from him. So he was just being cautious. And so now he's crossed over that road that the men who dump mulch made a cut through. And he's gonna, I think he's gonna try and light this other portion. I wonder if his tank is out already. I don't know how many. I don't know how much he's moving it around. I don't know how much flame throwing he gets out of that. Wait and see what he wants me, if he wants me to do something. Okay, it looks like he's up and running again. I see flames, so he must have made some adjustments to the tank. Maybe the position on the back of the tractor wasn't safe, or maybe he just had to adjust the nozzles. Who knows? I've never got to play with a toy like that. He's got some flames up pretty good in certain areas. It catches real well in some areas and so-so in others. And he's not working against the wind, he's working with it. So that's what's keeping him safe on that tractor with the flames, because they'll take off like that across in the opposite direction. He checked, of course, the direction of the wind. I think he's going to circle back and go further out to be on the upper side of where the wind will blow the flames. He's just checking on things. And the first portion that he lit is still smoldering a little, and I'm not seeing flame here. Hopefully it's doing what he wants it to do. I see good flame across there. So there's a lot of dry brush he's getting rid of. You can see him reaching down with the torch every once in a while. Guess he's going back to work on a few more problem areas. Areas that need to be burned. repositioned the truck so I can help watch better. And it might just still be too wet for it to take the way he wants it to. I don't know if he's happy with the way things are going or not. He's got a good bit more up here that I know he wants to get rid of that. But I don't know if it's burning the way he wants it to or not. There's so many factors when you're planning a burn like this. It can't be too dry, but it can't be too wet. It cannot be windy. You need an extra person. Someone that has the day, not just a few hours before some other obligation. They need to be here for the day. So thank you guys for stopping by our farm page. We appreciate all of your support. We appreciate your likes, shares, and comments. This is Rose from Cooper's Farm and Tim using the torch to burn the fields off. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you again soon.